Previously on Coruscant Nights. I need a sculpture. It can be anything you want, but it must include this. And he opens up a little box. And inside it is a small crystal.
Would I sense anything coming off of it?
You feel the dark side radiating from this thing.
We need you. We need you for something. A little investigating.
Sure.
If you don't mind volunteering your services, your knowledge, and etc.
So what do you need? I kind of don't have that much time. I got other people who need my help tonight.
Oh, you're a busy man. I understand. I feel similarly.
Let's just say you're not the only people going after the dims.
This wasn't just glass. This was a crystal. This was a stone, and it seemed like it had some radioactive properties that your datapad is showing.
Is this Kyber?
It seems like it's pretty similar, but a little different.
Similar to Kyber, but different. Just fool's Kyber. I didn't think they had that stuff outside of Pajal.
That is what it is.
I didn't sell anything to this guy, but somebody came in. I don't remember what his name was. He was looking for some, he puts a hand to the side of his face and he like he's telling you a secret. He was looking for some Kyber crystals. I didn't have any, so I sent him away.
What about the food dye that they used to make the purple ones?
I keep telling you, Carp. There's an old Jedhan saying, "A fool and his Kyber are soon parted." And we hear Afka say, "You do some research too." And he gets up from his computer at the cyber cafe and starts to leave.
Gets out of a chair and turns and almost crashes right into Special Agent Rowley, who has been standing there like a statue behind him the entire time.
Rowley, what are you doing? This is private business. Nothing to do with this investigation that we're doing, apparently.
I apologize. I did not mean to eavesdrop, but as you can see, I only see and hear the truth. While you were chatting, valuable evidence may have blown away, been stepped on. But I'm an understanding person. Shall we continue?
Well, why didn't you stay out there and guard the evidence?
Well.
Fine, let's just go. See if we can pick up this trail.
Lead the way!
I'm not going to get used to this. All right. He leaves the cyber cafe and heads back across the street, looking both ways before crossing.
Aha! Cautious of you. I throw caution to the wind.
There isn't much wind down here in the lower levels. Hopefully, this crystal dust is still on the ground. He pulls out his datapad scanner.
Yeah, it's totally fine. Not only is there no wind, but there aren't that many people in this particular alley. I think that's probably why it was chosen as a spot to abduct this guy.
What's this? What are you doing with this despair?
Yeah.
You're making Afghan nervous. He's getting sweaty.
So you got a despair. Yeah, I think you can. So what does it look like when you kind of light up this trail?
Yeah, so it's on his datapad, and it's like everything around it is dark, and wherever this stuff is, it's glowing orange.
So yeah, you and Rowley are following this lit up trail on the ground, and I think I'm going to do a roll. I'm going to do the first roll of my game.
Oh no. You're going to upgrade it with your despair? After you do your roll, I would like to do a roll. I think Afka, going into a place that he doesn't know, even if he is not doing it consciously, he's going to use his ability to sense.
I don't know if this is typically how people GM, but let me roll, and then I'm going to tell you what I roll.
I usually roll if it's something that if it goes either way, it's going to be interesting.
Okay. Well, I kind of combined your despair with a roll that Rowley did, actually. Okay. And you'll be happy to know that Rowley rolled really, really well. So you're walking along, you're following this trail, and Rowley says,
I've detected at least 2, maybe 3 pursuers. I believe we're being followed. In my experience, acting as calm and cool will typically be the best direction in a situation like this.
Afka probably remains cool. He's used to feeling like people are watching him all the time. And he says, was it 2 or 3? You're just not sure?
Scanning, 2. The third was a passerby.
And Afka, what's he do? So they're following this trail down an alley. Do they see, an end to it, or a turning, or a direction, or does it go off on another road or anything?
I think it opens up onto another road. You've passed through one long alley that has a bunch of dumpsters, things like that. It's pretty wide, but very off the beaten path. And it's going to open up into a another small strip similar to the one that you just left.
Okay. Afka says, watch my back for a second, Raleigh. I'm gonna try something here. And he stops for a second and closes his eyes and reaches out with the Force. Rolled two light side points.
Wow, nice job.
So I would assume these people are within short range. Does that seem right?
I think that you and Rowley both stop, and your 2 pursuers they gain a little ground on you, and I think that they're in short range.
Okay. So yeah, Afka can sense all living things within short range, including sentient and non-sentient beings.
I think that as soon as you stop
Anything
and these
else?
2 figures get within short range, you can hear the of a extending stun baton.
Okay. Are there any other sentient or non-sentient beings within short range?
Okay, I guess that's a question that you asked that I didn't think about because I didn't think it mattered.
So they're between 2 buildings right now. Is there anybody in these buildings? Is there anybody out on the street?
Describe short range for me again. What is that, 30 feet?
Short range is if you are talking at a normal volume, somebody can hear you. It's very abstract.
Yeah, that's pretty abstract. What is that, 15 feet?
Yeah,
What is
15, 20, 30. Who knows? Probably out onto the street that they're coming out on. Probably not all the way across to the other side of the street.
I like it.
Within the next 2 buildings and anybody on the street.
This is cool. This is a cool power. I don't have anything cool to elaborate on that. But,
Yeah, like rats. Is there a pack of Anuba? Three Anuba hanging out in a dumpster?
Yeah, so tell me, did you already tell me what it looks like when he reaches
No,
out?
because I have no idea. So when Afka reaches out, he would see it like the internet. He would see it like everything is data, everything is information, and I think when he reaches out, he can since he can sense people's emotions and everything. It's like data pouring into him. It's like the Matrix.
He's got a trench coat.
Yeah, he's a nerd.
I almost want there to be like the data is pouring into him. Is there any visual tell that he's done this or no? Because it's just
he's just closed his eyes.
Yeah, he sees all this information, gathering this data, this mostly sound, and the sound appears to him like data, even though his eyes are closed. And yeah, an Anuba walks by in front of them, maybe 20 feet away. He hears the pads of its little feet on the gravelly ground. There's a guy watching Heights and Depths, a hollow, and he hears the episode, hears the voices of the characters buzzing, and here's the dripping water of someone watering a plant on a balcony above, and hears these people and sees every inch of them, and can tell that they're about to be attacked.
And when he gets that information, he holds onto that information. And I'm going to commit my force die, so I can't roll it while it's committed, and every attack against him is upgraded once.
Okay, cool. And
he says, Rowley, hope you brought a blaster, because I sure as heck didn't. But he's in soul mode. He's in Soul Dixon mode. So he'd say, Rowley, I hope you brought a blaster, because I sure as Criff didn't.
I think we should roll initiative.
Great. So it's going to be cool for Afka, because he is aware of these people, I guess. 3 successes, 3 advantages.
That's really good.
Yeah. Cool is one of the things he's decent at.
Okay, it's going to be you and Rowley and then them. Which I think narratively makes sense.
Okay. What can Afka do as support? Afka, this isn't Afka's thing, but at this point, he's been in 3 situations. 3, pretty dangerous situations. And he still can't really fight. So what he's going to try and do is he's going to try and, boost Rowley's confidence. He's still, back to these guys. He's he got his eyes closed. He's still, feeling the incoming data of everything around him. And he says, all right, Rowley, these guys aren't so tough. You can take them both. I think you can do it quickly, and I think we can be on our way with our mission. And I want to do a leadership check.
Okay.
How difficult would that be?
Let's make it 2 purple.
Afka doesn't have time for this, so I'm going to flip a light side point because Destiny is calling. That is 2 advantages.
So you did not succeed.
I did not succeed. I would like to... I think what that is going to be is that while he's talking, Rowley is turning around and putting himself between Afka and the Dims will get a setback on their check.
Do not worry. You will be safe. It's my job to protect. Now then, fellows, I'm not sure what your stun baton is there for, but I'm sure we can figure this out.
And Rowley's going to do a ranged heavy.
I'm sure we can figure this out. And then his arm turns into a blaster.
Oh, he didn't roll that well, but he has a really good blaster. He got a success and 1 advantage. And yeah, he turns and says,
I'm sure we can work this out.
Blaster bolt. One of them goes head over heels on their back and lands hard on the ground, and they're done.
And Afka, who is still connected to the Force, whips around and is like, "Did you just kill that guy?"
I'm not sure. Hard to say from here. Have to do some scanning later, I suppose. Anyway.
The other guy is the one that had the baton, and they hurl themselves at Rowley.
Okay.
And I'm gonna flip one just to give you back 1 and to upgrade their attack.
Okay.
And they connect a solid hit on the side of one of Rowley's arms, and some sparks kind of shoot off a little bit, but it's really not even enough to allow him. He doesn't give an inch. He stands there very imposingly, and it's your turn.
And yeah, Afka runs in and tries to hit the dim, the oncoming dim, and he just sort of goes and slaps at him, and that's 1 threat. Do you know what you want to do with the threat?
I think
Give Afka to hurts himself.
God, if I wanted to make this more cumbersome, I actually think that this guy Afka got close to this threatening person, and they grab Afka and kind of put Afka between Rowley and this threatening person.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So you have to upgrade Rowley's attack.
Yeah. Because
he could hit me.
Yeah, this is...
If you want to attack.
As I was saying it, I was like, why am I doing this to us as players?
That's more...
You got 1 threat?
I'd say 3 threats.
Fine. I'm gonna flip also and do that, because I'm not using enough of these dark points anyway. Okay. Let's make this interesting. And yeah, your Afka is...
Yeah, so Afka sort of went in for a hit, and he kind of weakly slapped this guy. Got into a bad position, and then the dim put Afka between him and
Yes.
Rowley.
And the
Does that seem right?
dim is really not threatened or worried about Afka at all. Is focusing their attention on Rowley, and they say, like, just walk away from this. He's coming with us. You want to see him get blasted? Do you want to see me smash him with this stun baton? And
Afka says, I'm not going with you again. And then gets shot.
Okay, so let me figure out what's Rowley's role going to be.
So it would just be his attack if he's attacking, but a red instead of a
I really hope
purple.
I don't get to despair. I mean, it could happen. I don't know what. I'm like afraid.
Do it.
Is this Afka?
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
And he fires, and this guy's done.
He fires like right at Afka, and Afka like looks down, and he's fine. He didn't get hit, and then he turns around, and the dim's staggering backwards. He collapses in a heap on top of the other dim.
Yeah.
Rowley, that was a great shot.
Agreed. We must get out of here.
We got to get out of here.
Immediately. Continue. I will follow.
I kind of imagine that Rowley starts to try and pick Afka up, and Afka's like, no.
Are you sure?
I'm good. I can walk.
Are you damaged?
No, it's fine. It's
Scanning.
fine. No. Let's go. And he continues after the trail.
Haha, lead the way.
And we see Anames and Carp in the upper levels, and a green speeder speeding off.
One of my better cab rides.
The buildings tower above you. This is one of the places where you can actually see the sky. You can tell exactly what time it is, Carp. It is
Well,
night.
I can tell what time they tell me it is.
Well, they can't change the way the sky looks.
Or can they? How do we know it's the real sky? It could be a holograph covering the entirety of the planet. I can't believe this hasn't crossed your mind.
You can see the
But
sky.
since we're on a higher level, at least we're free of the ventilation system they have on the lower levels, because I have some theories about what they're putting in that.
Carp says to Anames.
She's just talking her
Anamis
ear
just
off.
stares. Because this is just what?
It's so rare I get to initiate a non-fellow board member into the truth.
The truth, she says. And Anamis is just looking at her like she's sprouted horns. Just spontaneously sprouted horns.
Well, I mean, depending on what they're pumping into the air in the lower levels, that could still happen. And I just sort of march along the street. I'm making sure my little blaster can pop out of my sleeve. I'm not flicking it out, I'm just checking that it's there.
You march along to the place where you are aware that Dr. Sanlev lives. It is one of the tallest towers in the area, and he lives on the top floor. You heading in the front?
Well, I sort of look to Anames now for guidance.
So Anamis points to the very top and goes, that's where he lives. All the way up there.
Of course it is. All right, so how do we get up there?
Well, I mean, there's the lift. Normally, I don't think that's what we want to do this time, though. That seems a little reckless.
What should we do? Scale the building.
Scale the building?
Well,
Is there another lift that can get up there, or is it just one of those private elevators?
there might be a service lift.
Clearly, I
There-
need some rocket boots.
There might be a service lift, looking at 4 light side points.
Yeah, I'm assuming they're going to have to look around to find it, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And they're not even inside yet.
yeah.
So do we look like the kind of people that would live there?
In your black turtleneck and knit cap? Probably not.
It's like a very 60s artist vibe. Maybe there's a lot of artsy, pretentious types living there.
Do you say that out loud?
No.
Okay, because Anamis would have had something to say about that, because she knows where the artsy types live.
No. Just assume I always know better.
The person behind the front desk might recognize Anames.
Yeah,
Just putting that out there.
Anamis looks at Carp because I'm not sure I should just walk in. I was just here.
What happened here that you need to be worried about? Are we returning to the scene of a crime?
No, not a crime that I know of, at least not yet. But I was here earlier today for an art installation.
Oh, that's very innocuous.
Normal it should be, but when I initially came to get more information about the commission, he was talking about Kyber crystals and well, he had one that had been corrupted. I don't know where he got it.
All right, so we need a way to get up there without you getting noticed. I mean, maybe you could say you forgot something, or I can create a distraction. You can sneak back to the lift. Maybe I could deliver some food.
Except I'm not. I would rather use a service lift if there is one.
Okay, if we can sneak to a service lift without getting seen, that sounds good.
It's just a matter of making sure the receptionist does not see me.
Okay, I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out with the distraction here. Okay.
All right. Be careful.
I can't wait for a carp distraction.
All right, give me a moment to think of a scenario.
While you think of that, I just realized that Carp has no idea what Anamis's past is. Really, that hasn't come up yet.
No.
And that's going to be interesting when it does.
Okay.
Considering Carp's beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting.
Why was she a dim?
No.
Let's see. I can't pretend to be someone who lives there because they would have a registry.
I think you should use that new skill that you got.
My bully skill?
Uh-huh.
Well, I intend to. However, I'm trying to think of a good scenario for it. Tell me more about this doctor fellow. What do you know about him?
He is a successful oncologist.
That's an odd choice for a dim career.
I mean, the question is which came first?
The chicken or the egg? The doctor or the dim? Let's see.
Exactly.
All right, so I take off my black knit cap and I roll my turtleneck collar down a little bit because it's different from the way I had it before, and that in Carp's mind equals looking fancier.
Okay.
And
oh boy.
I mean, we know that Mon Calamari love their, rolled collars.
Yes.
It is established canon in all the movies that they have a collar thing.
I roll the collar down and then I roll it back up because I realize it looks better that way. And I sort of, this is where a cat would really come in handy. I sort of swan into the lobby with very grandiose.
Where's Vecti when you need her?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'd like to do a quick computer check because I would like to get a registry of the other residents in this building.
Okay, so the two of you are hanging outside this building, sort of off to the side, maybe behind some pillars or something. Mm-hmm. And Carp takes out her datapad.
Yes.
Let's do an average computer's check. So 2 purples, 3 successes, 1 threat. Okay, you are looking for some names?
Just names, yes.
What kind of names could there be? You're just making me come up with names now.
Well, do you want me to come up with a name?
No, I don't.
Do you want me to come up with one?
Let's each come up with one.
Nillis.
Okay.
Mickelden.
Nillis Mickelden.
Yes, that's all I need. I see that it's a male resident, and I don't know the species, but it really doesn't matter.
You don't know the species, you don't know anything else about them with your threats. Your threat.
Right.
Yeah.
No, all I know is that I scan and I see what I'm looking for. He lives alone. He is a bachelor, I guess. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll distract the receptionist and you'll get into the service elevator. We will meet on how many floors are there in this building?
Let's give it 122.
Okay. We'll meet on the 100th floor, and then I will... so the lift would stop on every floor. I'll join you in that service lift on the 100th floor. We'll meet on the 100th floor. Okay?
Okay. That will work.
All right. So I kind of swan into the lobby. Very, like, imagine Upper East Side rich woman from the 1960s who was in her 60s, and, like, I'm not carrying a loth cat, but imagine if I was carrying a loth cat and it had, like, a little tiara on. And
so kind of like Betty.
Yeah. But, like,
you're channeling Betty.
Betty Maxwell to the max. Mm-hmm. Well, I kind of walk in and it's like you can imagine me wearing pearls, and I go up to the receptionist because all of the people who visit have to check in. Mm-hmm. They don't just walk in there. It's like a ritzy place.
She's a Twi'lek, and she asks,
"Can I help you?"
"Oh, I'm here to see my darling, Millis Mickelden." And I sort of wait for her to check the registry, and I'm like, "He invited me up for tea today." My accent is it goes all over the place because I don't actually know what rich people sound like. It's from every Heights and Depths episode about rich people I've ever seen. And I'm like, "He invited me up for tea, if you know what I mean. And I think maybe I shall break up with him today, but he doesn't know that yet." And I just fill her head with chatter.
That roll a deception check.
And meanwhile, Anamis
is looking for a surface lift.
Okay. So this front space, this like lobby area is pretty large and kind of open. And there are some pillars around that Anamis is probably hiding behind. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a hallway off to the back and off to the left. And this front desk is sort of center towards the back. Carp is attempting to lie. So let's get a deception check.
Wait, I can't bully her. Can it be a very bullying lie?
That doesn't sound like bullying. That sounds like lying.
It sounds aggressive. It's and the receptionist keeps trying to interrupt me, and I'm like, "Oh, darling, don't talk me out of it. I've had enough of this relationship. It's gone on for too long. I can't possibly keep it up anymore. I have so many offers, and Gerald wants to take me to the gambling planets. He wants to take me to Bespin."
"He didn't tell me you were coming. I cannot let you up without previous notice."
"Did he tell you to say that? I can't believe that. He didn't even let you know I was coming.
No,
this is just like Millis. This is why we can never be together, and why I'm leaving him for another name. I'm leaving him for Norman."
"I'm very sorry, but I cannot let you up without prior notice."
I insist. I must do this with him in person. It's not fair to do it over holotext.
I'm going to have to see some identification.
Shoot. We've established that Carp has a lot of IDs.
Am I still where I can, see, and I'm assuming I can at least hear this?
Yeah, you can definitely hear it. It's echoing through this whole lobby area.
Am I close enough that if I turn around I can see much of anything near the desk?
Yeah, what are you looking for?
Something that is easily moved, but would make a lot of noise if it clatters.
Let's see. So it would be behind a desk. How about there are two giant vases, one on either side of the desk. Are
they breakable?
Probably. There'll be a computer behind the desk, and maybe like one of those like grids of mailboxes,
Rich people don't get their own mail.
The vases, do they look like they're like a one-of-a-kind thing, or more of a mass-produced but fancy?
Oh, mass-produced. Probably not even that fancy. I bet they were cheap.
So basically, look more expensive than they really were.
Yeah.
Until you actually get close.
There's some reproduction of an old Bothan design.
I am going to roll a move.
Okay.
Which
I want to enter combat with a receptionist.
If you need to.
No. Because we're going to need to get back down here.
Well, I mean, you could just run out.
What's that?
So, Anames thinks about...
Is it one strain a piece or 2 strain?
I think it's 1 strain total. It's 1 strain to activate, and then that's it.
I'll take the strain. And I'm going to knock one of those vases off the desk inside, like toward her, like not direct where it'll necessarily fall on her, but where she'll have to go behind the desk and like lean down where she can't have any line of sight to clean it up.
Yeah, so Anames reaches out with the force and feels the like nervousness, and this Mon Calamari is just like putting the Twi'lek off of her game and being argumentative and all this, and she feels that Twi'lek's nervousness and knocks one of these vases off the desk, and it falls back and falls on the ground and breaks, and the water inside spills out and the flowers go all over the place.
What kind of establishment is this? Don't you even securely anchor your vases? And while the receptionist is going over to fuss because it was a very expensive vase.
It looked expensive.
It looked expensive. They tell people it was expensive. I say, I see what kind of place this is. You know what? Millis doesn't deserve... He doesn't deserve any kind of consideration from me. I'll do it over holotext. And then while she's kind of inspecting the vase, I sort of sneak over and join Rillin sneaking to the lift.
Didn't the vase break?
Yeah, it broke. It's all over the floor.
I mean, she's inspecting how broken it is.
She's fully distracted by a broken vase. And the two of you head around the corner into the spaces beyond the lobby of this apartment building.
So, what do I roll to identify where the service lift is?
I think you, at this point, with the breaking of the vase, you are in a space where you could have access to the regular lift if you wanted it.
Ooh.
You do know that it opens up directly onto his apartment, though.
Exactly why I was thinking that even though I can get on it, I don't think I want it.
Okay.
But do we want the lift where we'd have to bust his door down?
We want the lift that might lead to, like, what's the term I'm thinking of? Maybe, like, an area where, like, a lot of droids would go through. Mm-hmm. There might be, like, a back entrance, even if we had to do some... or an entrance to some of the vents or something.
I won't make you roll for it. There is an obvious... There's a door that says maintenance, and you just push through there. There are some shut-off droids back here and a lot of cleaning supplies. And you spot a... Let's see. So it looks like it opens up into sort of a loading dock, probably for when these fancy people move in and their trucks pull up and people have to load stuff up. And there's a big service elevator, probably like 8 foot by 8 foot, maybe a little larger, right back there.
Yeah, and instead of it being a normal lift door, it's more of a clear grid.
Yeah, that you have to manually pull down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Old style.
And it's probably, I would say it's rusty, but I doubt it's actually metal.
Yeah, it's some sort of synthetic metal, like a plastic metal.
But definitely looking a little more grimy.
Mm-hmm. And
because service elevators.
I think Carp and Anames get in the service elevator, and Carp, being so tall, just reaches up
to duck
just a little bit.
Very low, yes.
And pulls down the metal grate, and our screen wipe follows the metal grate as it closes. And we hear a ding as you get up to the penthouse level. You're in a back hallway. It seems like it connects to maybe like 2 places in this apartment that through closed doors. It looks like Dr. Sonlev is using this space as storage right now. You see a couple pedestals. You see some things with sheets over them. Nothing in particular catches your eye because it's all kind of covered up.
I peek under some and it's just
furniture.
It's just stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I'm sorry. Have we already reached the penthouse?
Yes.
Or
You are you are on the level. There are
Yes.
2 ways out of this space. It's not a huge space, but yeah, it looks like it opens up into 2 parts of the penthouse.
Are there any vents coming through here?
I'm sure there are some. They're probably
Air ducts?
smallish, yeah.
Anything big enough that either of us could fit in it?
Not me.
Not Carp. She's too tall. But I think 5
And I'm a little bit trunky.
5-foot Anames might be able to fit in one of these.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the vent cover off and climb in an air duct.
It's your answer to everything.
I think Carp has always wanted to climb in an air duct.
Yes. But no, it's discrimination. No one makes air ducts big enough for me.
And I think what I'm gonna say is, wait here, I'm gonna go see where he is and make sure, direct you around him.
All right.
So we are in the penthouse now, right?
Yeah.
Or just outside of its... Okay,
We're
in.
It seems like you are probably off to one of the back sides of it.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to tell. There are no windows in this space. And Anames climbs into a vent. Yeah, so looking through the vents, it is dark. It seems like all the lights are off. Dr. Sama might not be home.
She's going to quickly look through, scooch around and look through.
So you see his bedroom. You keep moving. You see the office, the kitchen. Yeah, there's nobody here. You don't hear anything. If there was somebody here, it's quiet enough that they would probably hear you in these vents.
I will crawl back then to the storage area and pop out and say, okay, it's good. No one's home.
Okay, so I hear you like more coming from the vent, like it's a little telephone. What is the thing you do with the coffee cans?
Telephone. Comlink.
Yeah, basically like the little
It's playing comlink.
quasi telephone. Yeah, it's playing comlink. And I hear her more coming out of the vent.
There's a little bit of an
than
echo
anything.
to Anami's voice as she says that.
And so I kind of creep out a little bit more into the open, but I've still got like, my little sleeve spring-loaded pistol kind of at the ready, but start to investigate the larger rooms.
Okay, and I think in Carp's last session, we established that she had what are they called? A Star Wars flashlight.
I don't know.
A glow rod.
Glow stick.
Yeah.
Glow rod.
Yes.
Does Carp flick on her glow rod?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the space is empty as she opens the door. And Anamis climbs down from the vent, probably?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you do it like a normal person, or do you have to like tack a somersault onto everything?
No,
Are you the somersaulting
like
type?
No.
Okay.
She's kind of grown out of that phase. She probably did that a lot as a teenager just to see if she could do it.
Right.
All the other
so
Jedi
she's
were
mature
doing
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was among the younglings and Padawans. It was kind of this competition at one point.
All right, but Carp doesn't know the whole Jedi backstory.
Nope.
So what I take my glow rod and it's throwing off pretty good light, and I'm able to see the confines of the penthouse.
So the door that you go through opens up into a kitchen. It is pretty nice, nicer than most of the apartments, probably all the apartments that Carp has lived in over the past month.
Probably.
It is dark. The kitchen opens up onto a large living space filled with pedestals and art and things on the walls. There's a little seating area there with a low table. Off of this room, it looks like there is the main lift down on the far wall. There are a few rooms going off this room as well. The doors are all closed except for the bedroom door, which is cracked a little bit. But Anames up in the vent had seen the bedroom, seen the kitchen, seen where his office is as well. On the other wall of this large main space, it's just all glass, and you can see the city sort of sprawling out in front of you. And through that, there appears to be a large like balcony area, a pedestal in the middle with a very, very large sculpture on it.
Does he enjoy the art more or the pedestal? The art is just
Honestly,
stuff to put on the pedestals. He's more about the pedestals.
That particular art, he enjoyed the pedestal a little bit more.
Well, I don't see a single booby trap. This guy is totally lax on his security. He thinks that because he lives in a penthouse, he can just get away with no go bags and no hairs indoors and hair wire triggers. It's lax. I'm judging him as I look around. First, I go over to, I guess, maybe look closer at the art pieces.
You can do a lore check, or Anamis could tell you something about them.
Do you recognize any of this stuff, Anamis?
Well, I made that. And she points to the statue.
What's it a statue of?
Just a Jedi from the Old Republic. And just some children that he found.
Okay. And Karp kind of it's like, okay, Jedi. And to her, it's like those old ancient, the Greek statues where it's like, all right.
And she also points to a stone over the heart of the Jedi and says, that's a Kyber crystal.
I'm sorry, it's carved out of stone, or is it an actual crystal set into the statue?
It's an actual crystal set into the statue.
Huh.
That's what Snibber said they were looking for the other month. That's what they were looking for.
Wait, they were looking for this crystal?
I don't think so, but that's the kind of crystal they were looking for.
Oh, okay.
To Anamis, that crystal at the heart of the statue is like a beacon of light. It's like a lighthouse in all this darkness that's in this place. And she noticed earlier, last time, or one of the earlier times that she was in this space, that a lot of the stuff in here was like historically dark side, like Sith stuff. There isn't really, it's not like the stuff that Snoober had. It's not like the stuff that Karp brought back from the Manticore. It's all like, it's just stuff. It's not like strong in the Force or anything like that. But looking around, Karp notices there's something over the mantelpiece that she recognizes. Yeah, it is the sword that one senator used and was gonna try and chop Afka with.
Anamis, that sword almost stabbed my buddy. I'm gonna take it.
You're gonna take it?
Yes. They shouldn't have it. They're just gonna stab people with it.
Okay.
No, I go over and I try to. Is it anchored to the wall, or is it just sitting there?
No, it's just you can like lift it up.
Okay, well, I mean, I know for a fact that this belongs to someone who is associated with the people who I witnessed literally about to stab someone and drop him into a vat of acid. I don't care what you say, it was a vat of acid. And so I feel like someone like that probably shouldn't have a sword. And I go over and I take it.
Anamis is not going to object to this because she doesn't think they should have it either.
At some points I've relayed this information to her. Let's just assume that I told it very convincingly and well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she did. That sword is what initially tipped her off that something's up.
Okay, so I go over and I take it. And
that sword is what tipped her off that this is related to the Dims. Because she's recognized it from the news broadcast.
Yep, she tied that to the Afka incident.
Yeah.
So I kind of lift it down from the wall, and it's like a moment from a movie where, you know, she's got it in both hands, and it's like, as she kind of lifts it down, and
it's a little heavier than she expected.
Yeah, has it got a scabbard, or is it just like bare steel?
No, it does.
Okay, good. All right, but it's not displayed that way. Like the scabbard's kind of on the side of the mantle, and I sort of slide it in there and swing it around my back like an awesome action hero.
I both love and hate that you now have a sword.
I love that I have a sword.
So you said that the Kyber crystal feels like a beacon of light in the darkness of the area. Do I sense where, like, a center to where that darkness is?
Yes.
Or any area that it's coming from?
You do. It's one of the doors off to the side. Not the bedroom, but probably, you'd probably be able to, since you went into the vents, say it was his office.
In that case, I am going to head that direction.
Okay.
I follow. I just follow her, sort of looking around at the same time.
You open the door to this space. You see a desk in the center of the room. There are a few folders filled with flimsy paper. There's more art and stuff on the walls. This place has more... They're old. They're odd instruments, maybe like old surgical instruments. And then in a shelf behind the desk, there's like... So this room is very, very dark. And there are a couple tall windows on either side of a bookshelf behind the desk. You can see the city through the windows beyond. And in the center of the bookshelf, there is almost like a mannequin head, but there's nothing on it.
Wait, I'm sorry. There's a mannequin without a head, or
just the
a
head.
Mannequin head?
It's like a head-shaped display. Like you would put like a piece of art jewelry on it or something, but there's nothing on it right now.
Okay, that's a little creepy.
Do I sense anything coming from that mannequin head?
Something residual. Something that's something lives there that isn't there right now.
He has a computer here, yes?
He's got a computer. He's got some papers on the desk. He's got his desk with some drawers. Yeah.
She's going to go to the computer and see if she can do anything with it or if it's locked.
It is locked with a dark side flip, but Carp is really good at computers.
Well, I was thinking that, because, yes, she's...
And I do have a sword, so I'm pretty invincible now. I'm feeling pretty good about myself. There is a boost of confidence a sword gives you that a blaster just doesn't. All right.
So Anamis turns to Carp and says, "Hey, you're good with computers, right?"
I preen a little bit.
Do you think you can slice into this?
Well, let me, and I kind of crack my knuckles and stretch my arms and lace my fingers together, and I say, well, let me see what I can do here. And I get to work.
All right, let's get a roll.
Roll. What's my difficulty?
3 purples.
I should get a boost because we're alone and there's nothing pressing us for time at the moment that we know of. I mean, that guy could come back soon, but as of now, no one's around.
Okay, I'll allow it. 2... Oh, are you kidding?
I can't see it. Was it good or bad?
Wow!
Okay.
That was amazing!
So, let me describe what happens so that I can do a thing, and then we'll get into it. So, Carp stretches her arms out. I think she probably, rolls her shoulders a little bit. Maybe does a couple little punches in the air.
Like it's like a physical activity,
yeah,
you know?
And then cracks her knuckles, sits down at the computer, and starts typing. And out the window, we see a little pack of pod racers fly by off in the distance. And as they fly by, we get a screen wipe. Carp got 2 successes and 2 triumphs.
Wow. Okay, so I hacked the heck out of this computer.
We finally found the thing that Carp is good at.
It's the sword gave her confidence.
Well, in Carp's last game, every single triumph was on a computer's check.
Well, she spent enough time on the internet. I feel like she has to know a little bit by now.
Before season 2, Carp never rolled a single computer's check and probably didn't get a triumph.
She's like someone who learned HTML so that she could configure her own little conspiracy website, and it just snowballed from there.
So how about I give you 1 triumph and you float an idea for the second one?
Okay.
Carp easily gets into Dr. Sonlev's computer.
Hackety hack.
Slice.
And
we make the little sounds as we do it.
Anamis is sort of leaning over her shoulder as she does it, one arm on the chair, watching what she does. The first thing that pops up as soon as she gets in is a weird map of the area. It's got Dak Avenue, it's got Little Onderon, and all of the surrounding parts of Coruscant. But it doesn't show anything that Carp recognizes. It shows it seems to show streets and alleys and things that she has never seen before. Through a little bit more research and her thinking about some of her experiences in the recent months, she comes to the conclusion that these are maps of the odd tunnels underneath the city. Places that she went with Kurt Blaster and Oris Roshi are on there. And places are marked off. Like, they're not necessarily, like, X'd off, but it seems like some places have been looked at or visited, and other places are yet to be explored. And while she's doing that, Aname's, those papers on the desk, she opens up that folder, and its properties have been bought up, and there's like information in those folders on the places that have been purchased by Future Forward Galactic. Some of those papers have been signed by the CEO of Future Forward Galactic. And as Karp is working on the computer, the name catches her eye. The name Vera Roshi.
So that it catches Karp's eye.
Yeah. I don't think it would really mean much to Anames, but with the...
Is that
glow
Oris's wife?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sorry, please, I'm so sorry. Is that the guy we took into the expedition?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh my. I never met Vera though,
You did not, no.
Okay.
So
the kid was annoying.
yeah, to sum up all this information, it seems like the Dims are exploring the underground in the places that you and Kurt guided Oris Roshi and his kid, and properties adjacent to and above these areas are being purchased directly by the CEO of Future Forward Galactic, who is his wife.
Uh-oh. I gotta call Kurt. Mark, I wish that could happen. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen either.
The amount of schedules they would have to mesh.
Oh man.
If only a guy Kurt's off somewhere gambling and drinking. Living his best life.
I mean, you can still message him. The question is, will he get the message in time for it to be useful?
Oh. He could get the message in time and it still wouldn't be useful.
Burn.
Sorry, Kurt.
So,
no, Linda plays him like that.
All that information, I'd say, is that's a pretty good triumph. Do you have any ideas for the second one?
I would want a triumph to maybe expose a weakness in this person or his plan or the whole shebang, like some kind of document which I could use against. Because, I mean, this is setting off alarm bells.
Right.
Immediately, I'm thinking, oh, they're trying to horn in on these creatures.
Creatures?
Maybe.
Oh, those creatures.
Yeah, the creatures.
Oh, you think it's all about the creatures? Okay.
Oh.
Speaking of, I'm trying to think if I would have anything that I could take. Obviously, I don't want to take those papers because that would tip the good doctor off that someone's been here.
Maybe my triumph is that I can copy everything.
I was going to say, do I want to... Well, because some of it was like actual hard copy.
Yeah. I mean...
What I'm looking at is hard copy. And I'm wondering, do I have something that I can kind of snap pictures of it all? Like,
yeah, if you have a data pad, I'm sure you could. And I don't think that's even a triumph. I think that's something you could do. And also, Karp just took that sword. I think he's going to know you were here. Someone was here.
Right.
Yeah, but if she has that sword, maybe we can make it look like it's just some art thieves.
Well, push some of the statues over. Take some of the other stuff. Let's just disguise it. Yeah. Let's take a bunch of stuff and then it'll just look like a robbery. Right?
Namis grins and she gets this mischievous look on her face.
And we don't even have to carry all of it out. Maybe you could hide some of it in the air vent. Or just
she shakes her head and says, "No, they said someone recently told me there's a lot of people on the lower levels that slip through the cracks. Maybe we can take some of this to them and help them out a little bit.
I mean, sure, fine. I don't really. At that point, I'm just like, I have to take the sword. They can't have the sword.
Yeah.
I really want a sword, and I'm not giving it to Snooper. This sword is mine now.
I'll leave.
There was something else that was calling out to
the
Anames.
Kyber crystal.
She's going to. One of the things Nanamis is going to do is take that Kyber crystal out of the statue. She can't take the whole statue, but she can take the crystal.
So I feel like I want to be able to copy everything on the hard drive.
She doesn't trust that they're not going to try to corrupt it again, so she's stealing it.
Okay.
And I want to be able to just take a ton of evidence to use as a kind of a security against some kinds of retaliation. Because there's got to be something incriminating on this computer, right? Like, there's tons of stuff.
So here's what's happening. Carp is still working on the computer. She's got a whole bunch of information.
And a sword.
And a sword. The issue here is that in our last game, Carp filled up her data pad. But if Anames also has one, yeah, she did.
I genuinely did not record what gear Anamis has.
So she's got a data pad. I mean, a data pad's just, everyone's got one, right?
Yeah, probably. That or some kind of a comm link.
Yeah.
That and probably a comm link with a camera or something.
You've got a data pad.
Anames passes Carp her data pad to transfer information to and heads out to take the Kyber crystal from the statue. I don't think we've really talked about, I mean, Anames had that little meditation session where she learned about the Kyber crystal, but I don't think we really talked about what the Force is like for Anames.
No, we didn't. I think for Anamis, especially because she does have such a tie to art and beauty, I think it's probably like a mix of colors and lines.
Okay. So as she...
Probably multi-dimensional colors and lines?
Mm-hmm. Maybe even like extra dimensional. Like we see the world in 3 dimensions, but her touching the Force is like the feeling of 4th dimension. It's like opening up.
It's like super strong synesthesia.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Uh-huh.
Like crazy strong.
So what is it like when she reaches out and touches the Kyber crystal that she had this connection to?
It's like, you know how they have stuff with the augmented reality?
Mm-hmm.
It's like she gets a burst of augmented reality in like colors and I don't want to say quite rainbow, like a full rainbow of anything, but just that kind of intensity, and it's that bright like a rainbow would be, especially if you're looking, kind of seeing the sun through a rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
That amount of light, just intense light, and there is some essentially color variation to it.
Yeah,
it's not just one individual thing. It's, I guess, not so much colors, but the potential for colors.
Right, and it feels like that Kyber crystal is almost like a prism, and it could focus that.
That's actually kind of where my brain was going.
Yeah, and she looks down, and it's in her hand.
How did that get there?
And Carp looks down at this information and sees that there is one place on this map. So there were little places that it looked like they had been to these places. And one place is standing out as like it's been marked. It is an important place. And it is all the way down on rock bottom. It's a place called the Crescent Theater. Where would Park head after all this weirdness, whatever just happened, went down? He saw these people chase after Addie Gregor as he ran off down the street. As he watched, did he just sort of book it in the other direction?
No, I think he wants to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that they're gonna, as soon as he ran, Park kind of ducked into the shadows.
Yeah.
And got to a high place where he can observe from afar. And he's going to kind of pursue Addie. And I'm guessing some people are going to pursue Addie also.
Yeah, so the Basilisk sort of calmly gets back in his car. He kind of expected this to happen as the turquoise-skinned woman with the crest says something to whoever is driving that speeder and takes off in pursuit of Addie. And from what you're seeing of her, she is moving in a way similar to you. It's like that ability you thought everyone could access if they knew how. She's got that too. She like catches up to him in a few long strides and just tackles him to the ground. The basilisk pulls up his speeder. They've gone maybe a quarter mile, and he comes out and he starts saying something to this guy and puts a couple binders on him, puts his hands behind his back and pushes him into the speeder.
Hey, Afka, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Are you intercepting any of these calls that are going out?
Yeah, they're all encrypted. I'm doing my best to keep track of things. They're using a lot of code names and stuff. It seems odd. It's not like an on the books thing that's going on.
Any keywords or anything you're identifying?
Yeah, actually, I think one of the people involved, I kind of know him. Is there a big basilisk there?
Well, yeah.
That's Dixon. Whatever they're doing, it might be the same thing we're doing.
What do you think about these guys, Afka?
They're doing good work. I think they're doing it. They're just doing it in a different way. They got resources we don't have and talents we don't have.
All right, we'll leave their work to them. We're gonna leave our work to us.
You see the two speeders turn off their sirens, turn off their lights, and speed away.
What's next?
So Afka says, so I'm pulling up some info from that comlink you grabbed. Comlinks are tricky. Comlinks are like simple machines, I think. Simple electronics. They're like 1995 cell phones. So you're not going to get like messages or anything. But I'm looking at places he's gone. There's one place that I can cross-reference here. It seems like it's his house, his apartment, his loft, whatever it is, the school, and then there's one place that kind of stands out. It's a little weird. It's all the way down in Rock Bottom. I don't know why a guy like that would go down there.
Yeah, Afka, that does seem like an outlier. It seems like an odd thing for our friend Addie to do.
I'm gonna send you the location. Maybe you can do a little research on it, see if anything pops up. I'll do my research too.
All right, send it over.
So your datapad lights up. You've got a notification. You got something from Afka. It's pretty much just coordinates. Okay,
Park's going to head that way, and I think he's already standing on something pretty high up. He's getting this nice broad view of Little Onderon. He takes a big jump and kind of free falls for a little bit.
Yeah, and above you, as we get this view of Park from the front, looking up into the sky, and we see a few pod racers go by above, probably on their last lap.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Coruscant Nights.
Coruscant Nights is a production of Nightcast Creative.
For more information on this and our other projects, visit nightcastcreative.com.
Thanks to Doug, Nikki, and Rill for playing on these episodes.
If you're loving Coruscant Nights, be sure to leave us a review on your favorite podcatcher and visit us on Patreon at patreon.com/CoruscantNights.